Have you ever wondered how to enter in flow state like a click? Well, in today's video, I'm going to explain you the simple way to enter in a flow state in basically 4 steps. Yes. So basically, may I ask what is flow state and is it a thing? Is it something that you got for a period? And I used to think like that I was in flow for a week, for 2 weeks, and then boom, it just crashed. But what I found out is that flow state is actually a cycle, is something that doesn't happen by chance, and it actually have 4 different stages that I'm gonna explain you right now. So the first one step is about clearing the load. Right? So there's different things that you can do to clean the load, and what I mean by load is actually all the things that you are going to do before a task or before a project. Yes. So there's many things. The first one is the cognitive load. The cognitive, right? Which is actually what our brain can manage, what is inside our brain, right? Thinking like a RAM, something that is in our mind in a fast way, and yeah, exactly like a RAM. Uh, it actually help us store a few information, 3 4 information at a time, and then the one that we don't consider to be important, we actually do remember it. So clear the load means if you actually are stuck into where it is a message that you gotta send, a task that you're gonna do, you have to clear it out. So if it is a task, like, just write it down is the best way possible. If it's urgent, I mean, the urgent thing first. And yeah, the second part is about sleeping, right? So I found out that 8 hours of sleep make your mind really crystal clear, and yeah, at the end of the day, is one of the most, if not the most important part of our health. So sleeping at least 7 to 8 hours is the minimum in order to enter flow state. I found out 8 is where I was the most creative, and yeah, minimum is actually 7. And the best ways to go to sleeping is actually going blind, deaf, cold, and hungry. These 4 steps in order to go to sleep are very easy, and we actually improve 80% at least your sleep just by default doing this 4 thing. And the last one is about engineering your environment, right? So so what I mean by environment is actually all the things that you got in your desk, the things that you got even while you're doing sport. Yes. So you cannot do anything that is too much, demands a lot of energy from you if the environment around you is just chaotic. You need in order to do deliberate practice, do something that is meaningful in your training, wherever it is, you gotta have a good environment. um, and I usually call it Flow Dojo. Is actually perfect, but in very simple words, the less the less thing there are, and the more minimal your environment is, the better you you're going to get into flow, and the less you're going to get struggle into doing something. Yes. So this is about just clearing the log, and uh, is about preparing. It's more about the preparation. And yeah, just want to add right now just one thing on sleeping. We can add also how to increase the flow proneness. So how you're gonna get in a flow state easier and easier. So one of the best way to actually get in flow is to reduce the flow proneness. Uh, uh, uh. And the best way I actually found out is actually get up and work. So wake up and flow. So this comes down to sleeping, yes, because what scientists and researchers found out is that the same wavelength that we have, the same brainwave that we have in our brain while we sleep, are the same one that we got while we are in flow. So these are basically a trick that I use a lot for myself, and I suggest to all the athletes or all the other people. Um, and yeah, it's very easy to get in flow with this. And moving on the fourth part, let's put it here. The fourth part is about actually deploying the flow triggers. Right? And what I mean by this is actually how to get in a deep focus state when it comes to your task. Yes, you gotta be and you gotta be writing wherever it is why this specific way you're doing it. So what I mean by so is that wherever you have a specific target that you want to achieve, maybe in training, or yeah, it can be wherever, right? You want to do a running, a 10-mile running. That's good. Like, let's be extremely specific with that when it comes to this. So, how much and how long you wanna run, and specifically every part of the step. Yes. So wake up, wear your shoes, wear your clothes, and then the part of the while you're warming up, extremely precise way that you're gonna do it. So every single small part that is in your warm up, and so on and so forth. So uh, this is actually a very simple way, but it's like building an IKEA chair, where it is an IKEA thing, and you have the little thing inside the instruction. Yes, so it's the same thing. You gotta be specific with that. I don't know, like tire shoes. Then um, wear clothes. warm up, and then the warm up you can add more remove things. Yes, so it's very simple, and yeah, the other part is about going 4% harder. So wherever you feel like you're not pushing enough, scientists and through a lot of research have found out that 4% at least of what you're doing, going harder every time, is the optimal space, not more, not less. So sometimes it's very easy to find it out, sometimes it's not, but yeah, you can decide whether on the feeling that you have in the moment, but also tracking on your points, scoring points, uh, how much you are fast, doing some running, your blood level. There's a lot of variables that you can manage, and yeah, this is actually a perfect range. So the last part is about a minimum viable sanity. So you gotta be specific on what you're doing, but at the same time be prepared to chaos, to prepare to uncertainty. Chaos and uncertainty. So maybe some tasks are not going as well as you want, and you gotta be prepared for it because it can happen. And no matter what, this is a very good thing that can happen to you, because it gives you actually a feedback on what you're doing, if you're pushing enough or if you are not pushing enough, right? And the last part I will put it here, so we can do this, right? It's more like a cycle. And the fourth part is actually the execution. So understanding that you have to navigate the flow cycle, right? Navigate the flow. So as I told before, accept the chaos, understand that other things won't change, will change, and won't be perfect as you are. And wherever you feel like that you are not more in the state of concentration, you are not dealing with the task. There's a little trick that I learned actually, is about have a small breathing, small breath. So when it comes to breath, like 2 or 3 seconds, in order to clear up the load, right? In order to get present in the moment again. And the same thing can be done with with papers. If you have a fault before, as I told before, clear the cognitive load. If you have any kind of thing that is stopping you, you can actually write it down on a piece of paper. Writing down paper, right? So yeah, it's very easy, it's very simple in this way. I just want to show you that it is a cycle, and it actually perpetuates for itself. And the last part, as I told before, writing on a paper, and also have boring breaks, right? So wherever you are, tired, you feel headache on your mind, just walk a little bit, like 2 3 minutes, watch outside, uh, outside the window, and for no reason you should have at least you shouldn't watch anything that is stimulating. So smartphone, television, like actually it destroys the flow cycle, how you gotta enter in it. And boring breaks is actually something that uh, for our generation is getting less and less, uh, let's say, doable, because all this social media thing, all how easy it actually check your phone, see your messages, see your social media, right? So the best part is about having the boring part in order to enjoy all the process. And that's actually a step by step way on how to enter in the most simple way to upload cycle on command. And I would argue that, I would say actually is quite an analogy on how to enter a flow state. Um, is actually taking a plane off, right? So if you think about it, let's say this is a plane, it has this thing, right? And here's the road. The amount that it gets in order to fly is actually a lot. So there's a lot of cognitive load that the airplane gotta do in order to take off. He got to do to get the baggage wherever it is, to ensure that the runaway is actually long and interrupted. Uh, we have the acceleration phase where the plane is started to going off, and prepares the fuel, prepare the speed in order to increases. And then the last part is about just flying, that they actually getting in flow, and everything else become smoothless and effortless without any kind of distraction. So that's for the video of today. Hope you actually enjoyed, learned something new. If you already knew it, I hope I added some good value, some good information for you, and see you on the next one.